It's the power of conversation, right? Y'all hear me say this quite often is every conversation, you have to know going into it two things. If you're a part of this conversation, so whether it's two people, 10 people, two things have to be true in order to be a conversation and not a teaching, not a debate, not an argument. I have something to gain and I have something to give. I think that's the power of conversation. I do that. I try to do that. I don't do it all the time. It's the best time I do it with my kids, with my wife, with you guys, with that church, even from the stage sometimes, creating that space. So then when you walk into that, understanding that the person across from you, this is loving that your neighbor as you love yourself. First, you got to love yourself the way God loves you, not the way your insecurities love you, not the way your deficiencies love you, not the way your hurt loves you, because then you'll have to put yourself on a pedestal to overcome your insecurities. You'll have to go in defense mode to hide your missteps and your miscues. Like really loving yourself as he loves you, and he doesn't love your outward exterior, he loves your inward calling. That's the beauty of God's design for us, is he loves what he created, not what we've become. So as we walk back to that, we begin to experience the depth of his love over us. When you love yourself to that place, now you see the person across the table from you and you don't compare yourself to them. You actually look at them at the same level. And now when I talk, I don't ever want to talk down to you, even if it's my children. I never want to get to a place where I'm up here. I also don't want to let my insecurities get me to a place where I'm talking up to you, because that's a broken place too. I want to be on an even setting ground to say, I have something to gain, I have something to give. So now, in that place of love, I am listening to everything you say. And at no point, if you're still talking, do I turn it off. Because it's in that place that I may miss something that if I'm called to minister into your life, think about a doctor. You come in and he's asking you, what's this? What's that? And when he gets to a place where something's off, he stops taking data. I have a headache. Oh, that's the problem. Give him a Tylenol, send him right back out. But three more steps down the line of blood work and all this, he finds a mass on your brain. But what if he had been okay with addressing the symptom? And that's the problem we have, even when we're knowledgeable in something, when we set our face, Tamara, you and I, or anybody else on the call like that, in that moment, we stop. We stop taking data because we want to answer that problem. And sometimes it's the next thing, if we'd been listened, would actually have given the background for the one thing we saw. Or it's the next thing, the thing we want to address. The next thing's what we needed to gain something in our own life. This the thing that we needed to hear for us. And I think that's the place of it. It really positions you in conversation to walk in like, I'm watching your body language. Sometimes it will say more than what your words are saying. I'm listening to the entirety of what you're saying because there's depth to the whole thing. If you're saying it, it's worth hearing. And it demonstrates value to that person across the table. That's the part we're missing in society, is everybody's walking into conversations and relationships insecure. Everybody's walking in making mistakes. And if we look down on them, if we stop them mid-sentence, if we constantly conflict and battle them, then we keep them in that place of insecurity. But it's when we fully listen to what they're saying. It's when we listen intently. It's when we respond to them, not at them, that we begin to speak value over them. And that's the place where we change the narrative, change the atmosphere of that space.